housing costs are actually a little lower, certainly than San Francisco. It's absurd. But anyhow, I just wanted to put that out there that I had a really good time. It was really enjoyable to hang out with family. You know, it really shows you a lot about values, what's really important in life, and having family is really sweet. You know, having people that love you unconditionally, and you know it does wonders for your own personality. That it makes you want to be accountable and maintain your reputation, and you know, watch your tongue, bridle your tongue a little bit. Family is famous for overtly correcting you, let's say. So we tend to say things to close family members that we might not say otherwise. Some of them appropriate, and some of them perhaps not as appropriate. But nevertheless, it's one of the benefits of valuing family is that you get those times when you get to reunite and hang out together and love on one another, and it's just a beautiful thing. I love to remind my daughters whenever I'm with them that I know as well aware they are of how much love I have for them, that it's just a hint of the love their true father has for them. I'm just their dumb dad, you know, very fallible and weak, but nevertheless, I love them dearly, profoundly, and would gladly die in their stead. But there's one that has love far surpasses mine, infinitely so. The one who has allegorically numbered the hairs on their head, a task I would never undertake, no matter how much I love them. And you know, we should all remind those that we love of these things. And you know, even if I found out tomorrow that we weren't genetically related, biologically related, I couldn't imagine. I would refuse to love my daughters any less. But there's a big problem, you know, that might be part of what's kept me single all this time, and that is this sense of vulnerability that comes with parenthood, that you just can't escape. It, you know, your whole paradigm has changed once you become a parent. You know, it used to be that I didn't care about my own life. You know, you know, people could see that that was on display. I mean, it showed in the way I rode my motorcycle, or when I was 16, the way I would race my car. And I'm not going to go into all the other death-defying things I did when I was younger, but that all changed when I had kids. I started to really think about being around for them, and how vulnerable I was, that if anything happened to them, and I cared way more about their lives and their well-being too. I mean, I don't want them to hurt anybody else accidentally or on purpose. But you know, this has to do with, in particular, the way they drive. You don't want to be reckless and accidentally hit a pedestrian, live with that for the rest of your life, maiming or killing somebody in a car accident. So, you know, their psychological well-being has been very important to me. So I'm very vulnerable, and God knows it. And that's why it's so important for me to reconcile these things in my mind and turn to God and know that, you know that He loves them, and you know that His love is a jealous love, and that, you know, I've got to turn it over. I've got to let go and let God comfort me in this matter, knowing that He loves my kids far more than I can ever imagine, and that's got to be good enough. That, you know, we've got to let it go. It helps me a lot, because that vulnerability thing with having kids is a tough pill to swallow. I'm going to go on to some events from this past week. If I can find them. Hang on a second. I'll tell you one thing about that trip from Chico to San Diego. It's a grueling trip. It's over 600 miles the way I went, taking part of the route. I took the Big Sur coast down to Highway 46, which goes inland to Paso Robles, and Highway 101. So I took that down, and that goes into Interstate 5, which San Diego Freeway, you can pretty much take that all the way down. The traffic wasn't too bad. The time of night I went through on a Thursday at about 9 o'clock through LA. It wasn't too bad, which is surprising. It's the first time I remember it being not too bad for a long time. Any weekend night, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, forget it, man. Holidays, and the wrong time of day, any day during the week, forget it. On the way back, though, I left kind of. I was really kind of stupid. I left at 9 p.m. and was coming back on the 5, and I just thought, well, I'm just going to push through and drive through, and if I get too tired, I can always stop and take a rest. But I pushed it, and it was really rather irresponsible, and I felt pretty bad about it. It's nothing I would ever recommend. I mean, at my age, I should know better, but you should never drive drowsy, and that's what I was experiencing. Thank God nothing happened, but your body is a machine, and when it tells you it's time to shut down, okay, you just have to do it. Okay, this is a big lesson for people about driving drowsy, and a lot of accidents are caused by people falling asleep at the wheel, and it happens to truckers, it happens to everybody, and but I thank God I made it back safely. But I got to admit that there's a couple times, you feel like, wow, I started to nod off there for a second, and you slap yourself on the face, and you feel like you're hallucinating. Oh my God, how close are those taillights? I mean, so not recommended. It's irresponsible, and I feel like I was a bad actor for doing it, and I'm vowing to myself I'm not going to ever do that again. Okay, so don't do it. Don't push your body beyond its limits. I know I stopped at a gas station in the middle of nowhere out there off I-5, and it's Union 76 station, and the gas prices they're getting $4.89 a gallon or some damn thing. I mean, just price gouging because they can, whatever the market will bear. The only gas station, so if you need gas really bad, you're going to get enough to get you to the next town where it's going to be at least $1 cheaper. So, yeah, because other places I was noticing, you get up north further, I mean, gas was about you get it for about $3.20 a gallon. So it's a big difference, big spread, $4.89 to $3.20, huh? But anyhow, there was a highway patrol car parked at the pump next to me, and where I pulled up, and I went inside, and these cops were in there, and this one pot-bellied highway patrolman was getting some snacks, and he, the other guy was like Latino kind of guy, highway patrol. These guys dress really sharp, but the pot-bellied guy, he couldn't help but look a little slovenly with his pot belly, but they both seemed like really nice guys, stuck with this graveyard shift out there trying to protect our lives. But the pot-bellied guy and I, our eyes met, and he gave me a smile, and I kind of smiled too. It's because I don't know. I have a lot of respect for the Highway Patrol. I mean, of all the law enforcement agencies, to me, they are the most trustworthy because they have a mission that's not going to go away as long as we're driving cars, okay? And they're out there trying to protect people's life and limb on the highways because, look, if they weren't out there, just their presence, people knowing that, hey, there might be a highway patrol around the next bend, anywhere, there'd be a lot more reckless driving with abandon, okay, out there. Not just drugs and alcohol, but, I mean, just wild. I mean, you still see it even with the highway patrol out there. Motorcyclist passed me. I was going through Santa Barbara on the way down, and hell, this guy, man, I don't know if he's jacked up on coke or what, man, but this dude, he had to have been doing 150 miles an hour. I'm not kidding. And he was just weaving in and out of traffic like they were standing still, and they were all doing probably well over 70. But, could you imagine being the highway patrol? And what the hell are you supposed to do? Good thing you have a helicopter, right? But it's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, they don't hate these guys on bikes, but I mean, I don't want to see the traffic stopped all of a sudden and realize that this guy, just lost his life, which he was just didn't seem to give a crap about driving those speeds. But you see it with other people in cars. I mean, doing well over 100 sometimes. Just don't care. I mean, these are people that can afford the speeding tickets. But eventually, I guess they get their license suspended if they get enough of them. But they get away with it because the flow of traffic, I'm telling you, on the LA freeway, San Diego freeway, man, there you got 5, 6, 7, 8 lanes.